what's casting. So, actually, before I jump into that, there is something that I have to do really quickly, very, very quickly. We got an updated avail for the commercial that we got availed on last week. I think it was on Friday. It was supposed to be the 25th and 26th. Now it's supposed to be the 24th and 26th. So I have to re-avail my clients. So yeah, we're gonna double check on that. I also have a client at a fitting right now and they shoot tomorrow. That's a really big commercial. And then we also have 5 people on a vertical tomorrow, which pays considerably less than a commercial does, but still really great experience. So we are just making sure that the email stays clear and that nobody's having issues, because if they have issues, it is on me to resolve those issues. So, okay, let us jump into this. This first one looks like it's a short film. We're starting out really strong today. Looking for men 45 to 70. Too old. I do not have anybody on my roster who fits that. Man, we have just been getting killed with that lately. It pays great. Well, not great. It pays 700. But yeah, we just don't have anybody in that age range. This next one looks like it is a commercial. The pay is 400 for the shoot, 400 for usage. That is extremely low. If you are somebody new to the industry, sure, you can take that, but otherwise, that's super duper low and not worth your time. Moving on. Hopefully things start to get better here because we are not off to a great start. Okay, this one is a huge brand commercial. Looks like it's going to be a 60-second commercial. Okay, so they're going to be paid $1,100 per day and then 5,000 for usage. Obviously, usage renewal is also factored into this. It looks like the second year option is 6,500, third year is 8,000. So, anyways, we're not going to worry about that right now because we care about how much you're getting paid today, this exact moment. So, anyways, 1,100 per day, 5,000 for usage. If you're used for print, the buyout for print is 7,000. How much time? It looks like it only films one day, the 17th. Oh, geez, the 17th, isn't that like, yeah, day after tomorrow? Okay, that's going to be very, very quick turnaround. But the pay is amazing. So, of course, we're going to submit on this. So, let's see. Uh-oh. Okay, never mind. Told you I was keeping an eye on the email. We have 5 people booked on tomorrow's shoot, so I just need to make sure. He said everything's good to go. We're good. Anyways, getting back to this. So this first role is for men or women aged 25 to 35. They're looking for people who are friendly and grounded. Appears to be a person saving the day. So, anyways, we are on that. Like I said, one single day shoots the day after tomorrow. Session is 1,100, usage is 5,000. And then if they're used for print, obviously that's a different story, 7,000 buyout for that. But we're not going to operate on that assumption. Um, okay. We are going to submit pretty much everybody to this because Mr. Monkey, hello. How are you doing this beautiful Monday? Uh, Ghetto Boss Trey, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Hello, welcome in. Let me know. Are you guys actors? Are you guys dancers? Are you just here catching what's going on in Hollywood? Let me know. So, anyways, like I said, commercial. It fits everybody in my age range, 25 to 35. That basically makes up the bulk of who I represent. So, I'm definitely going to be submitting on that. Moving on to the next one. Oh, that one says unpaid. I am not even going to waste my time opening that browser. Okay, this next one is also a commercial. Looks like it pays 1,200 per day. Is there a usage on this? There better be a usage on this. There's no usage. That is crazy. Okay, but anyways, I'll probably still submit, but it looks like they're needed. That can't be right. It looks like they're needed for an entire month, which that cannot be right. But I guess as far as the people that they're looking for, they want Southeast Asian, 25 to 45, any gender. And then they want plus size models, 25 to 50. The pay is the same for all of these, by the way. Older athletes, 45 to 55. Okay. Indian talent, doesn't say anything about body type or anything like that, 25 to 50. And then fit, healthy, and strong athletic body types, 30 to 40. Athletic females, another message. Okay, I do have to answer this really, really quickly. For the shoot tomorrow, it looks like they're asking if people can bring multiple outfits tomorrow. So I need to send a quick email to all of my people, just letting them know that they need to bring many, many outfits. That's pretty normal on stuff like this. I wouldn't say it's done on all shoots. Sometimes they have wardrobe available there, so it makes things a little bit easier. Roxy baby, hello, welcome in. How are you? Please tell me. I know the chats have been a little quiet this past week, but if you guys are dancers, actors, if you're in the industry, are you filming from the inside of Titan Submersible? Does it sound bad, or I don't know what that means? If the audio is bad, let me know. I don't know. I just have my phone propped up, so I don't know. Um, all right, what else do we have? Okay, we have a music video. We're switching this up. I represent commercial actors as well, but I primarily represent dancers. So it is always nice to see a music video pop up. Um, Looks like they're looking for dancers, anybody with a Gen Z vibe. Pays a little bit lower. It's only $500. How do you find clients when starting an agency? That is a really great question. I love that. Honestly, there's a couple ways that you could do it. If you are specifically in acting, I don't necessarily know the best answer for you. I know you can go to classes, and you can try and find people that way. If you're like a sports agent, that's another thing. You can go to like practices and stuff like that to try and find somebody. But I am a dance agent. So what I do is I go to dance classes. If going places in person doesn't really suit your lifestyle, or you just don't want to, which I get it, gas is expensive now. What you can also do is just do open castings online. You can post them either on like casting websites, or you can just do like an open Facebook or Instagram call. Facebook, I've gotten a lot of surprisingly really good people from there. So that's definitely an option. But yeah, there, you kind of just have to get creative with it. I have a submission website that's open year round, so people can submit their materials to me whenever they would like. But I know not all agencies do that. They prefer to have like open and close times, or like I said, like an open call on Instagram or whatever, or to scout in person. So it's kind of up to you and how you would prefer to find your people. But yeah, that's how I find my people. I prefer to see them in person before I set up any type of interview or review their materials or anything like that. Um, but on the topic of materials, you always want to make sure that your people have headshot, resume, and reel, just because that's the most important part. Especially like I'm doing submissions right now, and their packages, making sure that they are actually good packages and not just like selfies that they took. That part also is the difference between you booking and you not booking. So, anyways, great question. Um, Holy yap. Yep, I know. I just talk, talk, talk. Sorry about that. Anyways, going back to this music video, Gen Z vibe 18 to 30. Dancers, like I said, it pays 500 for the day. It's definitely not the best, but it's also not the worst. I'm gonna submit all of my people to that. And then we have another music video. This one is This one's more of a period piece, looking for people who can fit 1950s to 60s era. Um, let's see. We have, okay, we're looking for dancers. Yay. 20 to 30. Strong. I hate when they do this. It says strong level of dance and ability to learn choreography. That like doesn't give me anything. Can you give me like style of dance? Can you give me anything at all? Yeah. Not the best description, but you know what? We're gonna submit on it anyways. Okay, I can already whoopsies. What is that? Okay. Sorry, I'm telling you, when emails come through, I don't have a choice. I just have to. Okay. Okie doke. We probably are not going to submit on this one just based on the money being offered, but we can read it. It looks like this is a pilot show. Not a pilot show. a pilot of a TV show. Anyways, okay. It looks like they're only paying 250 per day. Um, you know what? On top of that, it doesn't really fit the demographics that I represent. They're looking for ages 40 to 46 white women. I don't have anybody. I have two people in their 40s, but they are mixed. So they're not going to fit that. They're also looking 30 to 34 white women. I do have people for this, but they're dancers. And so it's not going to make the most sense to submit my dancers to an acting TV show. So I'm not going to submit them. And then I actually can submit on this last one. They're looking for 11 to 12-year-old kids. Once again, Caucasian. I actually have one person, exactly one person that fits the bill. So I am going to submit her to this. Like I said, not the greatest pay, but also she's somewhat new to the industry. I mean, at 12 years old, of course she is, but yeah, we can submit her and we can see. Okay, this next one is a commercial. Interesting, it's a Christmas commercial. Christmas in it's not even July, Christmas in June. It looks like pay is 625 per day. 2,500 usage fee, and then they are paying travel. Where is this filming? It says travel, but we don't know where they're going. Okay, here we go. $625 per day, 2,500 usage plus travel, flight, lodging, transportation, and per diem, which is going to turn out to be a pretty penny. You're going to have 2 travel days, and the per diem for that is $312. Looks like you're going to travel July 22nd and return the 24th. And it shoots in Kansas City, Missouri. Okay, there we go. Um, so this first role is a daughter, East Asian, 22 to 26. That's really sorry, another email. Let me just pull that up here. Okay. It's okay. Not anything urgent. Where was I? Okay, daughter 22 to 26, East Asian. It doesn't say anything else like comedy or anything like that. So I guess we'll just submit my Asian people for that. And then they're also looking for a son, same thing, Asian. I don't have any Asian people on my roster, I don't think. Yeah, nobody. So I will not be submitting on that. But I can submit for the Asian females. The only thing that I have to make sure of is that their avails are logged. So I have to make sure that whoever I submit is for sure available to no, is available to travel July 22nd and then return back to LA the 24th. Which, the pay on this is really, really great. So that makes sense. But at the same time, we just have to make sure. Um, what else? Okay, I think that's it. We're good to submit on that one. I think we have a couple coming up that are not the best, but we're gonna open them and we're gonna see. Let's see. So this is one that it's not confidential. I can talk about it. It's one of those port TV shows. I will say, and I've said this every single day last week too, they look for people like literally every single day. They're not bad opportunities. I mean, they don't pay the best. I think it's like $125 for the day, but I will say that they treat you like royalty when you're on set. You get catered meals and not just like any catered meal. Like they'll ask you like, what kind of food do you like? And I'm a very picky eater, and so like years ago when I did it myself, they got me like a super amazing meal that was like matched exactly to what I needed and what I wanted. So, anyways, it's not a bad job. Oh, it looks like actually they're paying 200 a day now. Okay, price has gone up a little bit. Um, Anyways, I'm not going to submit on it. We just have too many people that I'm not willing to let work for I'm not going to say free, but for that amount of money. So we're going to skip over it. But great opportunity if you are newer to the industry or interested in stuff like that. Looks like this next one is a commercial. I think we submitted on this last week. So let me triple check. Yeah, this is the one that's looking for like way, way older, like 70 to 85 kind of older. So obviously I don't have anybody for that, but it's the same one that keeps popping up every single week. So anyways, I I'm a little bit annoyed by that, but whatever. Okay, this next one pays good, but I'm guessing it's very, very specific. It's for a type of medication. It's also a commercial. Looks like pay is 1200. I believe that covers both the yeah, that covers everything. The usage, the session fee, and anything else. So it only works oh, it works a lot of days. Hold on, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. It works 5 days and it only pays $1200. That is not great for a commercial. So I'm not going to submit on I can't submit on it anyways. They're looking for people 71 years old. I don't represent people that old. Um all right, moving on. This is another commercial, a decent sized brand, not the biggest brand, but decent. Looks like pay is 750 for the session and then 1,000 buyout. I will say the buyout is guaranteed on this one, which is nice. So you're guaranteed to walk away with 1750. So that's nice. Let me see, is it just one day? Okay, it's 2 days. So you would actually be getting 750 times two and then the 1,000. Math is hard, but I think that's like almost 4,000. Not quite, but almost. So anyways, 4,000 for 2 days of work. That's pretty good. And like I said, this is a pretty decent sized company, so it might be nice to add it to your resume. Works July, I thought it said June, July 8th and 9th. Um, and they pay the 20% agency fee, which is what I receive, which is nice because it doesn't have to come out of my client's paycheck. So for the roles, it looks like they're looking for women 40 to 58. I only have one person I can submit, but we're going to submit anyways. And then they're looking for a man 30 to 57. So I think I have quite a few men that I can submit there. This next one, also, this one is a huge brand, actually. The pay better reflect that, but we'll see. Oh, they're looking for kids. Okay, we're looking for kids. The session fee is going to be 750. The usage is 3,000, and then they're also going to pay for a fitting, which is 175. So comes out to a little over 4,000 for one day of work. So not bad at all. They also pay the 20% agency fee, which is what I would get. To be honest, I don't think we're going to get any callbacks on this. They're looking for ages 5 to 11, and the youngest person that I have is 12. So I'm still going to submit her because she looks very young for her age. She's like really short and really skinny. So I'm going to submit her and we can see. But unfortunately, I just don't have any kids that young. So we'll see. This next one, what is this? It looks like music video. Yeah, music video. And it's unpaid. Okay. Dang, that's a bummer. They're looking for female dancers, which is like my bread and butter. How do you get submissions for jobs? I use casting networks. Again, it's going to depend on what you want to do specifically. If you're looking to do actors, but within like TV and film and a little bit theater, Actors Access is actually the better platform for you, because they have all of like the major TV shows. They have all of the big movies coming out. They do verticals now. I don't know if like you know anything about verticals. People in the industry have a love hate relationship with it, but anyways, it's consistent money. I will say that, not the best money, but consistent at least. So anyways, that's one platform. I use Casting Networks. This is all commercials and like dancer stuff, so like music videos, music festivals, different kinds of artist work. So kind of depends on what you want. I don't know. Most agents, honestly, you have to start out on Backstage. Backstage is not great. There's a lot of scams there, so it's really hard, trying to like weave through everything. In order to get on casting networks and or breakdown services, Actors Access, you do have to be licensed for I think it's a year. And then you also have to have references from casting directors, which again, that can be difficult to get. So anyways, casting networks has been a blessing for me, especially like I said, these commercials. We just had somebody book a $30,000 commercial, and I think it's getting released any day now. So I'm excited for that one. But anyways, commercials just pay so much better than like a one-off movie or whatever. So this is where I'm at. Same for my dancers, but yeah. What else do we have here? I love the questions, by the way. I have gone live, I think 3 or 4 times now, and I never get questions like these. I always get questions like, will you represent me? And like stuff like that. So it's cool to have somebody interested in like the agent side of things. So thanks for hanging out with me and going through submissions. Um, this next one, it says it's a commercial, but they're only paying $200 for the day, and I'm not going to waste my time submitting on that. I get a 10% agency fee unless it's a big commercial, and in that case, the company pays for a 20% agency fee. I know it's a little bit confusing. So it's always nice to work on those bigger commercials because, like, for the $30,000 job, on top of not only getting like just 10%, the company actually paid 20%. So I get a bigger check and it doesn't have to come out of my client's paycheck. So that's really nice. But again, it kind of just you find it super interesting. Good. I love that. I think I have a super cool job. I know it's like a little bit more tedious and people prefer to be like in front of the camera or whatever, but I think it's cool. I think I submitted on this one already. It pays 750 per day. Oh yes, I did submit on it. I actually got a call back on it today for one of my clients. So I guess we're just gonna skip over that one because it's already complete. What do we have next? A live stream host. That's another thing. Casting Networks also has a lot of like UGC and social media stuff. Some of it pays really well, and some of my dancers have pretty big followings, so it makes sense to submit. But like that one was like $100 for a 2 hour live stream. It's just it's not worth their money, not worth my money. So I'm not gonna submit. This is another one. They're looking for a micro influencer, a man, age 21 to 30. I actually don't have any male influencers, so maybe I should look into that. This is a commercial. Pay is 500 per day and the buyout is 3,000 plus travel. Okay, this one is looking promising. It films 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Films 5 days. So that's 500 times 5 days. I think that's 2,500 plus the 3,000 buyout. So that is 5,500. I'm not good at math, so don't quote me, but I believe that's correct. For your travel days, they're also going to give you a per diem of 250 per day. And then, of course, they're a big brand, so they are paying my 20% agency fee. So that is beautiful. Since I have the book out dates, June 16th to June, oh, that is tomorrow. Wow. Okay. That's going to be very, very quick. Bookings are happening tomorrow. Okay. And they're filming tomorrow. That is kind of crazy. Must be able to submit audition tomorrow morning. Yeah, that is quite quick. But anyways, for that kind of pay, of course, we're going to do it. So it looks like they are looking for some older people, 60 to 65, male and female. But then they're also looking for younger people, which I can submit on, man or woman, 22 to 30, looking for ethnically ambiguous. So I have a decent amount of people that I can submit on that one. Um, and then, yeah, the rest of the roles are 60 to 70. So I don't have anybody to submit there, but we can definitely do this 20-ish one. Okay. I am not going to submit on this one, but we're going to open it just to say that we've gone through it. They're looking for, so it's another one of the verticals, but this vertical does not pay well. It's one of the, I'm not going to name names, but on YouTube, they're pretty well known. Anyways, they don't pay great, and it's $84 for the day. Like that's not even minimum wage, I don't think. So yeah, not submitting there. Because duh, why would I? This next one is print. If you don't know what print is basically modeling for still pictures instead of like a commercial where there's movement and stuff like that. Sometimes they do both. They'll try and get still shots and a commercial. Obviously, they have to pay you for it, but a lot of times that's what they plan to do. They don't like to do two separate because it's just more money for them. But it looks like they're casting for a pretty wide net. It looks like they're looking for female, male, and non binary people from ages 20 to 25. Looks like any ethnicity, any doesn't matter really. So, anyways, we can submit pretty much the whole roster there. But then they're also looking for a granddaughter about age 12, which I have somebody exactly 12 years old. So that'll be perfect. And then they're looking for a grandmother 62 to 77. I don't have anybody for that. But the pay for all of these roles, email, sorry. I don't think that's urgent. The pay for this one is 2,500 plus the, okay, they broke it down. It's 500 for the session fee and then 2,000 for the usage, so 25 altogether. And then they do also pay the 20% use, or sorry, the 20% agency fee. So that's nice. Yeah, we're definitely gonna submit on this one to all of those roles. All right, I think we're almost done. We have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Okay, we're not almost done. I lied. But we are just gonna open this one to get rid of it. It's another one of the YouTube series that I was just talking about that doesn't pay. This one, I'm gonna open it. It's a TV series, but we already submitted on it. And we had two callbacks on it, so I don't know why it's popping up again. But anyways, we're gonna get rid of that one. Is there anything else that is a repeat? I don't think this is a, oh, another YouTube series. It pays a little bit better. It pays 200 for the day. So not terrible, but at the same time, like not really worth my time. 10% is like 20 bucks. Yeah, I'm not gonna spend time submitting something for 20 bucks. What else do we have here? Another YouTube one. Okay, let's get rid of that. All right, now how many do we have? One, two, three, four, five. All right, five left, and these look somewhat promising. I love this casting director. She always gives us callbacks, and she is just a pleasure to work with. Looks like pay is going to be 500 for the session, 1,000 for the buyout, and then 20% agency fee. They are looking for anybody and everybody, 23 to 75. That is a big gap. Male or female. What else does it say? Expressive people, sophisticated demeanor, faces that feel distinctive and memorable, not conventionally commercial. I never know what they mean by that. They always say that, and I just like, what does that mean? Say it in English. Anyways, they're looking for people on June 26th to June 28th. You must be available all days. So we're gonna have to go through and put book out dates just to make sure that they're available. I am very, very on top of my clients to make sure that they are always putting their book out dates, because if they get a booking or if they get a callback on a day when they should have marked themselves as unavailable, I'm not the happiest, because then the casting director is mad at me and then I have to yell at them. So it's just a whole thing and nobody wants that. So let's see. Okay, this next one is a short film. Oh man, I was not going to submit on it because it only pays $20 an hour, which why would I waste my time on that? But they're looking for dancers, and any dance opportunity, like of course we're going to have to submit on it unless it's unpaid, of course. But yeah, I think I am going to submit on it. They're looking for male dancers, any ethnicity. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Do they have dates? Oh, they do have dates, June 19, 20, and 21. Okay, so it might turn out to be a little bit more if it's 3 days of filming. But still, at $20 an hour, it's usually not worth my time. So I'm gonna submit because it's a dance job, but again, just something that I need to be aware of. Okay, moving on. This one is a social campaign, which basically just means they're only going to use it on social media. But the pay for this one is $500 for 5 hours. And then there's got to be usage on this. Is there not? You're joking. There's no usage on this. I've never heard of a social media project that doesn't pay usage. Like even like UGC, which is usually like lower cost, they even pay usage. So this is kind of crazy. I like this brand. It's a big brand. It would be a big resume moment, but for $500, I don't know if it'd be worth any of our time. I will say they pay the 20% agency fee, so that is nice. That's like $100 for me, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm gonna think on that one. I don't know yet. What do we have? Two left? This one. This one is an internet commercial, so kind of like the same as last time. It looks like they are looking for females 18 to 25 or 35 to 45, so two very different generations. but they're looking for people fit and healthy. So, what is the pay? The pay is $1,000 plus the 20% agency fee. So, again, not terrible, but I okay, you know what? I don't know this brand, so the fact that they are paying more than what the other one, which is a huge brand, is paying is kind of a big deal. So I probably will submit on it, but it's just kind of crazy to see like what different brands are willing to pay. I mean, just the other day, we had this music video that I really, really wanted. It wasn't paying the best. It was like $500 for the entire day. And it was a huge artist, like well, it was 2 artists actually. They were collabing on something. Between the 2 of them, we added it up and it was like 12 million followers, and they were only paying their dancers $500, which is crazy. But then you had this little indie artist who I had never heard of before, and she was paying $1,000 per day to her dancers. So I'm just like, where do people come up with these numbers? Like, what we should be following is Dancers Alliance rates. There's a reason that we have SAG and Equity and all the other unions. For us, it's Dancers Alliance. But, anyways, there's a reason that we have union rates, and I wish that artists and brands would follow it more. But unfortunately, as you can probably tell by all these castings that we're getting, it really is. It's just all over the place. So you never really know. Okay, this last commercial, I don't think I have anybody to submit, but I will double and triple check. The pay is actually pretty good. The session fee is 350 for the day. The usage is 2500. And it's only print, which means you don't have to like talk or like do anything extra. You're just taking photos basically. Not just like models have jobs too, you know, but I'm just saying it's a little bit easier than having to like memorize lines and stuff like that. But what they're looking for are people who actually play instruments. They're looking for brass band, trumpet, snare or tenor, and bass drummer. So, anyways, I don't think I have any musical people. Dancers cannot sing, they cannot play instruments for the most part. So I probably won't submit on that, but it's there and decent pay too. Okay. I believe that is it for the night. Oh, and I was only supposed to go live for 30 minutes and it's 32 minutes. So, okay, I met my quota. Okay, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Also, if it's just F8, if you have other questions for me, I am here and happy to answer. But yeah, that is a look into what was casting in Hollywood today. We had a couple of really good submissions, a couple with really great pay and a couple with really not great pay. But regardless, we are submitting on everything and we are just trying to get our foot in the door. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow. But as always, no promises.